So this is the first magazine back.
Hey guys, Chris from Southern Homestead, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a range day here at the farm. We do have a little range set up on the farm. I got both of my sons and one girlfriend, not my girlfriend, one of their girlfriends, and one wife. My daughter-in-law is out here. So today we're going to be talking about the Shadow Systems CR920 War Poet. First of all, no magazine, gun is clear. My son bought this gun a couple weeks ago, and we had a massive amount of problems with this thing, right? So we stopped and we read some stuff online, and we thought that maybe we just had bad ammo, the wrong ammo, or something like that. So the next day we came out and we shot it again. I would probably say that we ran at least 300 rounds through this. Yeah, so he's saying 300 rounds. So 300 rounds through this. So what was the problems that we were having? Okay, so we were having failure to eject, failure to feed, all sorts of stuff. We used 3 different types of magazines, 4 different types of ammo. We even pulled a spring out of a Glock 43 that's what this is modeled after. This is a Glock clone. And we pulled a spring out of it that was broken. It's extremely broken in. Yes, it shot a little bit better, but it didn't do what we thought it would. So you see a lot of videos from Shadow Systems saying that their tolerances are so much better. So I rounded up a Glock 43 so that we could do a little bit of comparison on that, as far as how the slide comes on, how the slide fitment is, and all that type of stuff. So I got a Glock 43 here, and I'm gonna take the slide off of this one and show you some things that I thought might be a problem with it after we got it back. So I would like to say that thus far, Shadow Systems had some very good customer service. They answered the phone, they talked to my son about the gun and listened to the problems, and they said, yep, absolutely, send it back to us. So they had it for 2 weeks and got it back yesterday, came back in yesterday. So I'm gonna read to you what Shadow Systems said. So they send you back a report with the gun, with testing results, and some other things here. So the complaint was multiple failures to feed. That was what we gave them. So they didn't put on the summary that we had multiple failures to eject as well, but we did. And we don't have video of that because we were so dumbfounded that a $950 pistol had this many problems out of the box. At least 40 to 50 failures in the first 300 rounds was pretty absurd to us. So anyhow, they were good about the customer service. They took the gun back. This is what they said. So confirmed that there were failures to feed, and their fix to this is that they deburred the slide rails and stripper rail. So I'm not sure what the stripper rail is. Mind you, we're not gun experts, we're not ex-military, we're not police, we're not anything like that. We're gun enthusiasts. We like to shoot. We like to try to be as safe as we can, but we also like to try to buy some nice guns if we can. So I'm gonna pull this one apart, obviously not on camera because YouTube's kind of weird about that. All right, so this is the slide. The rails are here and here. So in their statement, they deburred those at least. I have no idea what the stripper rails are. If you know that, leave me a comment down below and explain that to me, because I have no idea. One of the things, I'm not teaching anybody how to do this, by the way, YouTube, if you're watching. So when we got this back out of the box, this slide goes back on, and right here it hangs. It hangs right there, and I was like, man, is that still gonna be a problem? So what I did was I grabbed a Glock 43 that is also clear, magazine's out, chamber's empty. And to check that, I did the same thing with the Glock 43. I put it on, and guess what? It hangs up right there too. So I'm guessing that that's just pretty common for the design. So anyway, we haven't fired it yet, and that's what we're about to do to see if what they did fixed it. And hopefully we'll be able to talk good about it right now, because we had a lot of hatred in our heart when we first started shooting this thing. So hang out with us, and we're gonna put some rounds through this thing. How many rounds are we gonna put through? 200 or 300 rounds today. Got a couple steel targets out here, multiple shooters. So we'll see what we get.
All right, so these are going to be the first rounds. So they fired with 124s. These are going to be 115s, which of course everybody shoots a ton of them. There's going to be a lot of people that say 124, 147, whatever. So if it won't fire 115s, then that just sucks. But anyhow, we have a mixture of stuff to shoot today, but these are going to be the first rounds right out of the box, repaired from them. So here we go. We'll see what we get. Go ahead, bud. Look at that. Bring it over here. Very, very first round back from them. Jesus criminy. Okay. All right. Clear it. Shit.
Failure to battery.
Yeah. Didn't go all the way into battery. Or did it even, didn't even feed a round. Jesus criminy.
Didn't feed.
Holy Jesus. Nope. Bring it over here, let me see. So this is the first magazine back from these guys. I mean, first magazine. Holy crap.
Still got a few more.
Another one. God dang, man. All right. Wow. All right, so we're gonna keep fighting through this and just keep shooting. Stovepipe.
With one ported in there.
So it tried to feed
They try to feed.
and it stovepiped all at the same time.
All right, so we loaded up a couple more. I got 2 more magazines, a 10 and a 12. These are multiple different rounds, right? So we didn't put, like, we have a big mixture of 115s, 124s. I just sent my other son to the house to grab some 147s. So we're just gonna keep shooting and see if this gets better. They said in their report that they didn't have any malfunctions with 124. I'm pretty sure that that's what they recommend to shoot in it. It is comped, so that kind of stuff does play into it, but I've seen too many videos on the internet of people with this gun and other comped guns that are shooting 115s with no problem, especially this gun. So we're gonna keep shooting and see if this works itself out. At this point, I'm a little doubtful, a little disheartened, but we're about to see what it'll do. Failure to feed. So I want to talk about this. So that was failure to eject, 100% failure to eject, and this other round was halfway loaded into the chamber. So I don't know, guys. No lock back. Ah. Cannot make this shit up. same thing. Holy crap. So you can see down in there, there's a round loaded and the stovepipe. Same exact thing. I mean, same thing. Look down in there. So now the round is loaded. All right, so these are Hornady 147 hollow points. Before we had some problems with a flat face round and the hollow points feeding up the feed ramp. The rounds were ejecting, but they were not loading in. So we're gonna fire these real quick. So no issues with those. That's actually what my son went to go get. I pulled those out of my carry pistol. So we'll try to run a few more of those and see if there's any issues with that. But that was a hotter round. I just have a hard time believing whether a gun just will not fire a 115 round. I mean, I just don't. So these are, I mean, some of them are kind of crappy. What is it?
Kenny's calling you.
Oh, Kenny's calling me. Hang on, my ammo guy's calling me. I'll be right back. All right, so ammo guy was calling me, telling me what he was finding. Anyway, so back to what I was about to say. So we're trying to shoot through a bunch of different types of ammo. So we got some really crappy stuff, and then we got some pretty daggum good stuff. I'm having a hard time with the fact that this thing will not feed just about anything. You know, everybody says if you want to go with the nicest crap, you got to use the nicest crap. You know, if Blazer brass wouldn't run through just about every freaking thing on the planet, I would be all right with it. If I knew that Blazer brass caused a problem with all sorts of other types of guns out there, I would say, God, we probably just don't need to shoot that through this thing. But that's not the case. This thing is just having a hard time with all sorts of stuff. So we've got some 124s that we're about to shoot. We're actually fixing to run a Glock mag through this thing to see if it could be a magazine problem, just in case. So we'll run the Glock mag and we'll run some other ammos through here and just keep on shooting at it. What would you say about, that's probably about 50-ish, yeah. 50-ish to 75 rounds. So anyhow, I'm gonna give this back over to Peyton and let him run this Glock mag in it, and we'll see what we get.
Let's go it.
Yeah, factory Glock mag right there. It is a little long, so it does hang out of the pistol a little bit, but it works. It locks in, all that good stuff, because it is a Glock clone. So here we go. Negative, Batman. Jesus Christ.
Nope.
Nope. All right,
factory.
Back to factory mags. Didn't go all the way into battery?
Didn't go all the way to battery.
There we go. All right, so this is gonna be, so we've staggered some rounds in here. So these are some more of the 147 hollow points, and then we've got ball. So it's gonna be hollow point ball, hollow point ball. So that's gonna be different loads, right? So that's gonna bounce back and forth between a 115 and a 147. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so 147 staggered works. So this is all 147 hollow point. What are these, Winchester Defense?
Yes.
So the last ones were Hornady Defense, and these are Winchester Defense.
issues with the hot loads, which I guess that kind of rings true with what they say, but I still just don't understand why we can't get a pistol to fire 115s like I've seen on 200 other videos of this gun. When we first had problems, man, I watched every freaking video on the internet, including Shadow Systems, and there were people that were having this same problem and there were people that weren't. So I don't know what the deal is, but there's problems for sure. All right, I'm finally impressed. That was a whole magazine of 115. We're just gonna keep shooting, I guess.
No, no. Into the abyss.
Into the abyss of leaves.
Another failure to feed.
Yeah, same issue. So there's a round in there and a stovepipe. All right, so I'm gonna try the Glock mag with 147s in it, just for shits and giggles. Never mind, maybe I won't. Maybe, we'll see. So that's a Glock mag, 147 grain, failure to feed. I'm not the first one to try that either. My son just said they're gonna make fun of me for Glock mag and a Glock clone that's supposed to take Glock parts and Glock mags and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Stovepipe. And one more for good measure. Show me that over here. Golly, so that we're way into the round count on this thing. Wow. All right, so the CR920P from Shadow Systems. Man, we have shot the crap out of this thing today. We shot a bunch of different ammo in it. We had some decent results with some of it and some not so decent results with other. But it is still not 100% reliable. And y'all call me stupid or whatever, but I would say 100% reliable is to pick up any kind of ammo and put it through this bad boy and trust my life with it. Right this minute, I don't feel like I could do that. This is not my pistol, this is my son's pistol. He has some of the same sentiments. We're not done yet. We're gonna go buy a couple more 100 rounds of 124s and 147s to shoot some more through it, and we're going to stick to those only and try to run this thing. If we can go through, I don't know, 200 rounds of that with no malfunctions at all, none, I believe that we might start changing our opinion of it. But as of right now, this gun has to be 600 rounds in at least. Oh no, more than that, because Shadow Systems shot it too when they had it. So there's no telling how many are on this now. There's no telling how many they shot. They didn't put that on the paperwork when they sent it back. So yeah, so the jury's still out. So anyhow, as of right now, you saw all the malfunctions that this thing was having. So you make your own choices. You can beat us up telling us that we're using crappy ammo or whatever you want to, but we're average everyday shooters that are just out here trying to have fun, and we'd like to have something like this to be able to trust our lives with. If you don't mind, please go down and like, subscribe, ring that bell so you'll see all the videos we put out, and be looking for another video on this bad boy soon. Appreciate you guys watching.